Welcome, dear friends. Welcome to seventh and last chapter of our story, The Fall and the Silence. Tonight, we continue with other page of a story that will stretch across many nights. A story of Chichen Itza, where stone temples whisper secrets and life moves in rhythms long forgotten. Tell me in the comments where you are listening from and what hour of the night keeps you company. It's always magical to know that these words travel across oceans and time zones. If you like the stories, please let us know in the comments which story you would like to hear next. If you are ready, soften the lights. Let the world around you fade away and allow yourself to wander into history's gentle embrace. The jungle holds its breath. The temples stand unmoving. The echoes fade into the air until there is nothing but stillness. This is how Chichen Itza feels today. Majestic, eternal, but also hushed, like a great stage after the curtain has fallen. There was a time when these plazas were alive with tens of thousands of voices. When the temple of Kukulkan blazed in the sunlight, its terraces gleaming with paint, its serpent staircases alive with pilgrims. Merchants arrived with cacao, jade, obsidian, colorful feathers. Priests prepared offerings. Farmers brought maize, beans, squash, the food of life. Warriors stood guard, their obsidian blades glittering. Children laughed, playing in the dust, while elders told stories under the shade of ceiba trees. The city thrived. It was one of the largest, most powerful in the Maya world, a hub of trade, culture, and ritual. Here, the gods were honored, the cosmos renewed. But nothing lasts forever. Historians still debate why Chichen Itza declined. Some say it was drought, the skies withholding rain, the cenotes unable to sustain the people. Others say it was political strife, rival cities rising, alliances breaking, wars dragging on. Still others speak of rebellion, the people themselves growing weary of endless ceremonies, of sacrifices demanded, of rulers losing their sacred authority. Whatever the cause, the plazas grew quieter. The great markets thinned. The ball court heard fewer echoes. The pyramids watched as vines crept closer. The serpent of Kukulkan still descended with the equinox sun, but fewer eyes gathered to see it. The rituals continued, but with less grandeur. Slowly, inexorably, the city's power faded. By the time the Spanish arrived in the 16th century, Chichen Itza was already a shadow of itself. The jungle had reclaimed much, though the cenotes and temples still stood, silent witnesses to greatness gone. Walk among the ruins today, and you feel that silence. It is not empty, it is full, heavy, charged. The silence of memory, of stories that once filled the air, but now only whisper in fragments. The stones are mute, yet they speak. They tell us of brilliance, of artistry, of a people who understood time, the heavens, the sacred cycles of life and death. But they also tell us of impermanence, that even the greatest city, the grandest temple, the most powerful ruler will one day fall to silence. The jungle is patient. Stone cracks, roots dig deep, and the world moves on. And yet, something remains. Every spring and autumn, when the sun sets just so, the shadow of Kukulkan slithers down the pyramid. Tourists gasp, cameras flash, but in that moment, the ancient past breathes again. The same vision that awed the Maya still awes us today. At the ball court, clap your hands and hear the echo. 7 voices answer, as they always have. The stones still sing, whether to kings or to travelers. The cenote remains, deep and dark, holding secrets never fully revealed. Divers still explore it, pulling up artifacts, bones, treasures offered to the gods centuries ago. The water still reflects the sky, just as it did for the priests who cast offerings into its depths. The myths remain. The hero twins still play their game, still defy the lords of death, still remind us that the cycle never ends. And the people remain. The Maya are not gone. Their descendants live across Yucatan, Belize, Guatemala, Honduras. They still speak the languages of their ancestors. They still honor the maize, the sun, the rain. They still keep time with the ancient calendar, a count of days stretching back thousands of years. Chichen Itza is not just ruins. It is a living legacy. As the sun sets behind the pyramid, the stones glow gold, then fade into shadow. The jungle hums with cicadas. A breeze stirs the leaves, and for a moment, you may feel the weight of centuries settle around you. You hear the echo of the ball court. You see the serpent of Kukulkan. You imagine the priests, the crowds, the children, the laughter, the prayers. And then, like a dream, it fades. You are left with silence. But it is not empty silence. It is the silence of memory, the silence of eternity. Chichen Itza may have fallen, but it has never vanished. It endures, not only in stone, but in story. And as long as we tell these stories, the city still lives. Sparkles thus ends our journey through Chichen Itza. 7 chapters, each a step through time, myth, and memory. What began as a jungle path has led us to the ball courts, the temples, the sacrifices, the shadows, and at last to silence. But the silence is never the end. It is the beginning of listening. And so, the last light fades over the limestone. The pyramid dissolves into shadow. The jungle wraps it in its green embrace, and the air cools with the promise of night. Where once there were torches burning and drums echoing, now only the cicadas sing. The silence here is not emptiness. It is fullness. It is the silence of a city that once dreamed so boldly, that carved its visions into stone, that aligned its very heart with the cosmos itself. It is the silence of countless voices absorbed by the earth, still humming softly beneath the roots and stones. Stand here long enough, and you may feel it, as though the ground itself remembers. The plaza is not just a plaza. It is a mirror of the heavens. The ball court is not just a game. It is a theater of life and death. The pyramid is not just stone. It is a stairway between worlds. Even in its fall, Chichen Itza endures. Even in its silence, it speaks. And perhaps that is the greatest truth this city offers us. Civilizations rise and fall. Power builds and wanes. But the human spirit, our need to reach beyond ourselves, to leave a mark on the world, to turn time into story and stone into meaning, that endures. Tonight, as the stars awaken over the Yucatan sky, imagine them as the Maya once did. Imagine them as gods and heroes, as guides and guardians, as stories written in light. Somewhere among them shine the hero twins, triumphant, their ball still in motion. Somewhere burns the feathered serpent, Kukulkan, gliding between earth and sky. And here, far below, the pyramid rests, waiting for another sunrise, another equinox, another visitor who will stop and listen to its story. The jungle exhales, the stars wheel above, the city sleeps, and in its dreams, the ancient world still lives. The jungle does not forget. It watches, it waits, and when the people grow quiet, it moves forward, inch by inch, wrapping roots around stone, spreading vines across plazas, softening the sharp edges of pyramids with moss and shadow. There was a time when Chichen Itza pulsed with life. Markets full of voices, plazas filled with color, sacred chants rising toward the sky. But slowly, the rhythm faltered. The reasons are still debated. Some say drought came, year after year, drying fields, thinning the harvests. Maize withered, and hunger spread like a shadow. Others whisper of war, rival cities challenging Chichen Itza's authority, weakening its alliances, dividing its people. Still others imagine rebellion from within, as farmers and craftsmen grew weary of endless offerings demanded by rulers and priests. Whatever the truth, the change was slow, almost invisible at first. Markets still opened, though fewer traders came. Rituals still continued, though the crowds grew smaller. The ball games echoed, but less often. One by one, buildings were abandoned. Fires no longer burned in hearths. The great plazas stood more often in silence, broken only by wind. The serpent's shadow still crawled down the pyramid with each equinox, but there were fewer eyes to see it. And then, silence. By the time the Spanish conquistadors arrived in the 16th century, Chichen Itza was no longer a city, but a memory. The jungle had swallowed much of it, leaving temples rising like islands above a green sea. The Spaniards saw the ruins, puzzled at their scale, wondered at the skill of the builders. But they never truly understood the world they stumbled upon. The Maya themselves had never disappeared. Their descendants lived on in villages, still speaking the old tongue, still farming maize, still honoring the cycles of sun and rain. But the city, this jewel of stone and starlight, had fallen silent. For centuries, Chichen Itza slept. Travelers stumbled upon it. Explorers sketched its temples. Archaeologists slowly uncovered plazas buried under centuries of roots and earth. Each discovery brought the city back into the light, stone by stone. Yet, even uncovered, the ruins never lost their hush. Walk among them, and you feel it still, the silence that is not empty, but full. Full of echoes, full of memory, full of lives once lived. The Temple of Kukulkan is no longer painted red and white, its steps no longer crowded with pilgrims. Yet twice each year, the shadow of the serpent still appears. Tourists watch in awe, just as the ancient Maya once did. The stones still perform their cosmic theater. Clap your hands at the ball court, and 7 echoes still answer you, bouncing off the walls, like voices of the past unwilling to fade. Peer into the sacred cenote, and you see water dark and deep, reflecting the sky. For centuries, offerings were cast into its depths: gold, jade, weapons, pottery, even human lives. Divers have brought up treasures from that watery darkness, but much still lies hidden below. The cenote remains what it always was, a threshold between worlds, still carrying secrets in its depths. Chichen Itza may have fallen silent, but it is not gone. It endures in stone, in story, in shadow. The Maya calendar speaks of cycles, beginnings and endings that are never truly final. In this way, the city lives on. The hero twins still play their game in the underworld. Kukulkan still descends with the sun. The maize still grows, golden as ever. The people still walk the land of their ancestors. And you, standing among the ruins, are part of the cycle too. You see what they saw. You hear what they heard. You remember what they remembered. The silence here is not death. It is memory waiting to be heard. Stand at sunset on the plaza and feel the last light touch the pyramid. Listen to the wind weave through the trees. Watch the first stars pierce the velvet sky. The same stars that once guided farmers, priests, and kings now shine on you. Civilizations rise. Civilizations fall. But the stars endure, and the stories endure. And in this place, if you listen closely enough, you may hear not only the silence, but the soft heartbeat of eternity. The silence grows thicker as night descends. You stand in the plaza, and the air is heavy with the scent of damp earth and flowering vines. Above you, the first constellations blink awake, the jaguar-spotted sky, the Maya once read like a living book. The pyramid of Kukulkan looms in shadow. By day, it commands attention, but by night, it seems to dissolve into the heavens, its steps vanishing into darkness as though inviting the stars to walk down and join us. Take one last step toward it. Place your hand on the stone. It feels cool, rough, worn smooth by centuries of sun and rain. Generations once placed their hands here too. Pilgrims seeking blessings, masons fitting blocks, priests steadying themselves before ascending to the top. Their touch lingers in the stone, as yours now does. And then you turn. You begin to walk slowly away. Your footsteps echo softly on the ground. The vast plaza opens around you, but it is empty now. No dancers, no drums, no crowds. Only you and the whisper of the jungle. The ball court lies quiet at your side. The walls tower in the dark, silent witnesses to centuries of contests, both playful and sacred. Imagine, just for a moment, the sound of a rubber ball bouncing once more, the shouts of players, the gasp of a crowd, the sharp call of a conch shell. And then, The sound fades again. Only the echo remains. Farther on, you pass the sacred cenote. You stop at its edge. The water below is still, reflecting the stars above. For the Maya, this was not just a pool. It was a doorway to the divine. Objects glitter beneath its surface, even now, sealed in its silence. You lean forward, and for an instant, it feels as though the cenote is gazing back at you, the earth watching its children. The air is cooler here. You close your eyes. The night hums with cicadas, with frogs calling, with the faint rustle of unseen wings. These are the lullabies of the jungle, the same lullabies the Maya once heard as they drifted into sleep. Step by step, you leave the heart of the city. The temples rise like shadows behind you. The jungle grows thicker. Roots twist across the ground. The moonlight filters down in silver streams. And in the distance, an owl calls, a lone voice in the night. You pause for a moment. You look back. The pyramid rises above the canopy, proud, eternal, serene. It is not simply a ruin. It is a memory carved in stone. It is a dream given form. And it endures quietly, patiently, beneath the endless sky. As you stand there, you realize something. You are part of this story now. You too have walked these plazas, heard these echoes, touched these stones. And when you leave, you will carry a piece of Chichen Itza with you. Not in your hands, but in your memory. The Maya believed that stories are not told once. They are lived again and again, each telling a rebirth. Tonight, you have been part of such a rebirth. The city has spoken, and you have listened. Now, the night deepens. The stars stretch across the heavens in glittering rivers of light. The pyramid disappears into shadow. The jungle closes around you, protective, eternal. And as your eyes grow heavy, the silence of Chichen Itza follows you. Not a silence of emptiness, but a silence full of voices, of stars, of dreams. The city sleeps. You sleep with it. And in the dream, the ancient world still lives.